have to have alternatives. That's so. I think urban farming is an alternative. That's one thing, and then you have to have also a movement, but a movement who is not only about the alternative, but is also about fighting an enemy. And who's the enemy of urban farming? I don't know.
I thought about the question, and I don't like the question because I like to be holding hands in hands with everybody.
Me too.
Kumbaya. Yeah. But the enemy, we already talked about the enemy, and it's cheap buildings, for example, cheap everything.
Yeah.
Is that capitalism the enemy? No, I would say it's a system in which we don't incorporate the health, the ecological and the social benefits of certain things. So we need kind of those things to be rewarded. We need the biodiversity. We need the ecological, the social things. We need that to be rewarded. Do we need to destroy capitalism? I think there's capitalism where those things are rewarded too.
Yeah, but there's always someone or some company who's getting rich or getting gains and not changing things. And if you do new stuff like urban farming in the beginning, say, "Oh, nice, you're not a threat to," but by identifying an enemy who has a lot of power on tradition and has the power to stop change, by confronting him or her or the company behind him or her, you that kind of movement. You also need to have disruptive change. I'll give you an example. You have like the movement for sustainability. Of course, that's great, and but in the Netherlands, they also have like movements like Stop Shell. That's really confronting Shell. Shell, one of the biggest oil companies and polluters in the world. Stop Shell, put Shell down, confronting an organization and having different tactics to stop them. If you make the combination of an alternative and a movement, also attacking on a nice way, but attacking someone or a company with power, then you can have disruptive change.
So we need a common enemy. That's also a question to everybody and at home. What's our enemy?
Problem is that all the good people doing the good stuff, like making new solutions for a better world and stuff, they most of them, 90%, they don't like the question of who's the enemy, because they are like very open-hearted people, very loving people.
Don't like confrontation.
And one of the my main. I think my main value in strategy thinking with a lot of the organizations is that they say, but we have to grow the alternative, but we have also to confront the old ways and the old powers.
That's true, because those old powers are keeping the traditional farming in place, industrial farming in place. Those traditional powers keep legislation from like, we need all the rooftops to be covered in solar panels or green roofs.
Yeah.
But an extra thing. Did you know that solar panels work better if the roof on which they stand are green roofs?
Yes, I knew, because of the moss.
Yeah, because of the moss. That's an interesting fact. Like, and who are the enemies? The people who want to keep the status quo in this occasion, I would say.
I think that I think the urban farming thing is not really a threat. So, but if you grow the model and you get if you grow the model like 1 or 2 or 3% in a city is produced like that, then it will become really clear who is trying to stop you.
Yeah.
And then it's the good moment to have a confrontation. Yeah.
Maybe it's a good question to everybody at home. Is like, who have you confronted? Who is against you?
Yeah.
Because in my experience, not many people. Yeah. Like I have had confrontation with organic farmers.
Yeah.
Especially when I was into vertical farming. Mm-hmm. This is not natural. I'm like, okay. Come on, we can do biomimicry and create ecosystem. That's like, I always find solutions. I don't say you're wrong and I'm right. I'm saying like, valid points. And this is how we can overcome those. So I'm not confrontation averse. I'm more like, let's find solutions together.
We should look at the Boerenbond.
The Boerenbond. One of the next people who's going to be on the podcast is from the Boerenbond.
Okay.
She's doing the urban vertical farming network in Belgium. Nila Loors. And
I think I know her. Yeah.
Yeah. And she has great vision also for urban and vertical farming. So the Boerenbond is not against it. They're more like, what's this about?
Can we have this?
Yeah, can we use this for? Yeah, but I think the Boerenbond is like the Belgian farmer organizations, the Flemish farming organizations for people in Dubai. They have all the ways of farming. They're like that. It's a very diverse organization, and it's so easy to be against the Boerenbond.
It's also a multi-billion company making a lot of the farmers really dependent. They're actually a bank also. They are a bank for farmers. So
and they have investments in a lot of companies in the traditional
so
industrial farming space.
I think the urban farming is really a nice extra now. But if you try to put the other businesses down, you will see the real power. And I've seen this in my life a few times. If you really confront the real power, what happens then it's really scary.
So if as the urban farming movement you start saying like, we want to work together with rural farmers, but not if it's industrial farmers, then you will start getting problems and an enemy. That's kind of, If we as an urban farming movement say, we work with the organic farmers and the permaculture farmers, the agroforestry farmers,
and it's good marketing.
If you have an enemy,
that's the secret. Fair trade chocolate. The fair trade chocolate, the Oxfam and stuff. They have chocolate, and they have like a chocolate bar, and it's called Bite to Fight for Fair Trade. You see, it's bite for for something, not against something, to fight for fair trade. Do you know Tony Chocolonis? Yes, everybody's buying what's their value proposition?
Because the chocolate is unequal blocks to show the inequality in the chocolate trade, something like that.
Yeah, they are against inequality, against slavery. And that my children, they know if they eat, and they eat a lot of it, Tony Chocolonis, that they fight against slavery. And the enemy here is like the other companies. The other companies who use cacao that's produced by child slavery. And that's really good marketing. And it's one of the main, because in their marketing, putting an enemy in front is more, I think, motivating to buy the stuff than saying like, let's be in favor of something.
I think, I'm
not convinced.
Like, I'm not convinced about the enemy thing, because I think it leads to a lot of, if you take it to the extreme, you get nationalism, for example, and you get like the fight between the US and China, which benefits nobody. It's like, the Chinese are bad. Oh no, the Americans are bad. And
there's a technique I use, and it's called democratic polarization. So you can have like an enemy, but you are really nice to the people of the enemy people, but you are really confronting in the inhoud, the really confronting and in the content and putting your stand. So it's really being really hard on a subject, but really loving your enemy also.
I like to, maybe the way I work is my enemy is the past.
Okay.
My enemy is like where we are right now or where we come from. It's like, how can we beat that? How can we be better?
Yeah.
And for me, urban farming is like, how can we make our cities better?
Okay.
The enemy is the old ways of building cities.
Yeah.
There's a stupid way of building cities. Is to make them in heat islands or like let the water drain super fast into the sewage systems and then overflood it and then have floods downriver also. And so is that a good enemy too? Like the past?
I think no, because the enemy you cannot change anything about the past, but I think in your
well, you change the past by changing the future.
No, that's a slogan. I think you should think about the big building companies in Belgium, the project owners who are doing the urbanization. I know a lot of them, and I've worked with some of them. They are really powerful, and they are actually dictating how we are building our cities. They are like the. I'm not not gonna name you some names, but there are really some people in Belgium who are really powerful and deciding how we are building our cities.